topic I'm going to teach is regarding intelligent leadership. Every free, responsible citizen of a democratic country, by birth as well as constitutional right to be ruled by professional and competent representatives. They also have the right to select and elect the candidates of one's own choice with free will and informed decision. The suggested model of candidates as professional practitioner may be helpful to make the candidateship cost-effective, professional and competent, transparent and corrupt-free. In order to make the transparent, corrupt-free and impartial, economic, effective and more people-friendly selection of candidateship and election procedure for leadership model is suggested. So, the relevance of the model, a professional model for candidateship for political leaders in the country. Let me introduce the theme. We have the maxim, knowledge is power. The realization of the power of knowledge led to the development of knowledge-based systems. Along with the intelligent systems, what we need is intelligent leaders who are competent enough to take intelligent decisions. Knowledge is powerfully handled, analyzed, and utilized in the hands of intelligent leaders. Political leaders are one of the leading policy makers for sustainable practices. Hence, the need of developing a professional model for candidateship for political leaders in the country. For effective leaders, we need intelligent, competent candidates come forward for the election process. So let us see what is meant by a professional model for candidateship for political leaders in the country. The professional selection of candidates are recommended where the candidateship is considered for placement with a profile with a basic requirement. The basic educational qualification can be a mandatory requirement. For example, post-graduation in any discipline, PG in public administration, human resource management, applied politics, economics, statistics, research methodology, psychology, MSW, etc. Now let us move to the selection of candidates. It can be conducted in two parts, namely with help of an inclusion and an exclusion process. The inclusionary criteria are like in the mode of UGC, JRF NET, National Eligibility Test or State Eligibility Test, an entrance for 4 states of democracy for aspiring leaders can be conducted, and those who clear the examination only would be eligible for candidature. Then aptitude test also can be conducted for the candidates with the leadership quality. It can be selected on the basis of interview, group discussion and debates on crucial issues. Only those candidates who are found eligible through such scrutiny are to be allowed to file nomination for candidature. When we move to the exclusionary criteria, the candidateship may be invalid in case if the person lacks mandatory educational qualification, should have a lack of criminal background in criminal records bureau checking, should possess a professional knowledge, field work, experience, service, volunteering, then high aptitude test scores, aptitude for social service, service mentality, mandatory communication skill, oral, written and digital, mandatory IT skills, mandatory research skills, and age limit preferably between 25 years to 75 years, then mandatory basic core skills and life skills, then of course a project submission, something like an appendix which can be done along with the traditional mode of nomination and attachments. Let us think of the project submission. So instead of selecting a single candidate initially, all the interested eligible candidates should be allowed to apply for candidateship. Selection should be done at least 6 months before so that each candidate will get sufficient time to study the geographic and demographic details of the constituency and prepare a detailed action plan in the form of a project proposal before the election procedure. So the project proposal outline may include something like a profile of the candidate, need and rationale of the study, related literature, present status of the constituency, estimate of human and natural resources available, source of funding, detailed phase-wise action plan, estimated time for completion, political affiliation of the candidate, underpinning working philosophy, which should be published and discussed in public for election campaign. Those candidates who can impress the voters will win as usual. Now we will move to the follow-up and accountability. The elected members should submit a detailed progress report once or twice every year to the concerned authority, and experts in the field are answerable to the voters. And the candidates, the elected members should be answerable to the voters. If they fail to accomplish the estimated project work miserably, they should be answerable to the public. Based on the level of failure of their duties, there should be provision for suspension, dismissal, removal from power, or even for punishable offences should undergo court trial for cheating and misusing public property. When we move to the training session, we have mandatory post-graduation, maybe PG taught or PG research, which can be ensured to all candidates. In connection with the PG program, the candidate should be given training to complete and prepare optional project reports. Then the development plans of countrywide in general, states in general, any state in specific, dissertation of developmental plans for short-term and long-term basis, then a research methodology, which may include a need analysis, problem statement, data collection, result action plan, etc. Then the tradition and rich and varied cultural heritage of the nation, international, national or state history, then political and administrative system prevailed, eco-friendly and sustainable development, and administration, management, and leadership training. These are some of the disciplines which should be included, or topics which should be included in the training program. Now let us think of the benefits if we do the candidateship selection in such a professional way. Of course, that will ensure professionalism and sustainable development, transparency, informed decision making, maximum voter satisfaction, flexible and differentiated action plans, empowerment, and it attracts, of course, talented candidates. Now, let us think of the challenges for implementing such plans. The mindset of the various stakeholders involved may not change sometimes. And there are, of course, unhealthy influences from different stakeholders. Mass psychology and influence of political, religious, and communal parties also affect the smooth implementation of such a strategy. Intelligent leader in the era of artificial intelligence. So intelligence is the integrated sum of those facts which gives us the ability to capabilities to set Homo sapiens apart from other forms of living things. When we move to artificial intelligence, it may be one of the most important developments of this country, of this century. Then countries leading in the development of artificial intelligence by then will emerge as the dominant economic power of the world. When we think of some of the important projects or programs, the Japanese launched their ambitious program in artificial intelligence as a 5th generation in October 1981. Then when we think of a British ALWAY project, then the European Common Market countries Esprit program. Then when we move to the United States, the consortium called the Microelectronics and Computer Technology Corporation, MCC, then DARPA, all those things are the projects at the moment. Then in artificial intelligence, the goal is to develop working computer systems that are truly capable of performing tasks that require high levels of intelligence. But what we need is, audible? Am I audible?
Yes, yes, yes.
Is the screen visible?
It is in the same. Now it has moved to the next slide. Yeah.
So when we think of a professional practitioner will statistically arrive at conclusions about the population based on the study conducted among samples, as we usually do in research work. So the major projects with the long-lasting effects can be recreated or simulated virtually, and the impact studies and futuristic studies can be conducted. So an intelligent leader can utilize available relevant big data nowadays. And through the information from big data analysis, more intelligent and informed decisions can be made. So here we have the artificial intelligence research and development of knowledge-based systems, which can be developed to enhance human life and increase productivity, accuracy, and efficiency. So what we need is we have to incorporate those positive aspects in the decision-making process. But the most important aspect is the human leaders who decides and programs and manipulate these artificial intelligence systems and machine automation for socially sustainable development. So what we need is intelligent leaders with intelligent right decisions with far-reaching impacts. So let me conclude. Every free, responsible citizen of a democratic country has the birthright as well as the constitutional right to be ruled by professional and competent representatives. They also have the right to select and elect the candidates of their own choice with a free will and informed decision. So we have this model of candidateship as a professional practitioners, which may be helpful to make the candidateship more cost-effective, professional, competent, and transparent. And it helps to be a corrupt-free environment. So let me wind up the session with the concluding remark, the quotation from Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Remember, for your progress, for your welfare, and for your happiness, never fail to cast your vote in election. So with this words, let me wind up the session. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Dr. Marin has given a comprehensive view on intellectual leadership for sustainable development. It was a very clear presentation with respect to all the democratic values. Now, the participants, if you have queries, as usual, it is your time. Dr. Marin, you spoke about the leadership from a societal angle, and it was a very clear presentation, as I've mentioned. My one single question is, as a teacher leader, can you cite one sustainable practice in your classroom? Your mic, it's... Dr. Marin, did you hear my question?
Am I audible now?
Yes, yes. Did you hear my question?
Would you please repeat?
Yeah. You spoke about this intelligent leadership from a societal angle or from the societal perspective. And my one question is, coming to education, as a teacher leader, can you cite or give an example of any one sustainable practice that you are using in your classroom?
Ma'am, nowadays we are having COVID issues. We are having a COVID. We are in a COVID era. So students may be a little bit upset regarding their health issues. Then they are facing so many issues regarding financial problems, family, what's it, arrangements. Then so many issues they are facing. So what we will do is when we plan some educational program or when we plan some curricular reforms or something, we will keep in mind how it affected the family, maybe how it affected the health of the student, and
The
what
mental health.
impact after maybe 2 or 3 years,
Okay, thank
or
you.
even long time basis also. So
Okay.
we have included, let's say, health care,
Tips
then
and
stress
all.
management issues,
Mhm.
then yoga and meditation, then how to take care of oneself,
It's
then
very good.
dieting, I mean healthy diets, then exercises.
So